Okay, so we have a 2003 Ford Mustang that we want to change the headlamps because they're grazed and just kind of not very attractive. And instead of, using those kits, which really don't work or haven't worked, we're going to go ahead and replace the whole lamp. So we got replacement headlamps on Amazon. I think it was about 80 bucks. And we watched a couple videos. My wife and I are not mechanics. We're retired, late 60s people. We saw these videos of how to replace these and it looked really easy until you do it yourself or you go to do it yourself with no training. Okay, so here we are. We did the driver's side yesterday. And after watching the videos on YouTube, a couple of them, they made it look really easy. And in fact, there's not a lot of steps. Unfortunately, there's things that happen that weren't on these videos, like connectors and things breaking, and you got to be really careful. This is a 22-year-old vehicle. So we're going to share what we did, and we're going to actually do it here to this one here in a minute, about what to watch for and be careful of. All the plastic in this vehicle is 22 years old. Things get brittle after a while. And of course, on the videos we watch, nobody tells you that. And you can get yourself in trouble by not knowing, not thinking about these things in advance. So we're going to get started on this one, and we'll show you what you have to do to get this going. At first, it seems quite simple, but then you'll see, what does this do? What is this for? Where does this go? And things like that. So we'll get started. Okay, so to get started, there's two clips, this one and this one. They're metal, so therefore they're not going to snap unless they're rusty or something. We've kept this car garage kept for 22 years. So what you do is you pull up on them and they give you a little bit of tension, but they pull pretty much right out. Now, if you're just doing this and have never done it before and you're just trying to save some money, which everyone needs to do, when you take parts off a car, keep it in the order so you know that this clamp goes here, this one will go here. So I just do sort of a 1, 2. So this one on the outside will be here and vice versa. Now to get this out, all you do is you sort of give it a tug, not too much. I'm 67, so there's not a lot of oomph there. And there are, let's see if we can get it now. There are two, hold on, let me get you some better light here. Hold on. There we go. This down here is the electric for your bulb. So we're going to have to undo this clip. And then over here, there's one right here. It's a little hard to see. I'll see if I can get a better angle here. Right in there, point to it, sweetie. Right there, where that has to come off. So in order to remove the whole thing. So far, it sounds pretty easy. But let's see what we have. Now, here's where it comes in, where you have to be really careful because we snapped both of the clips. We ended up snapping off a piece completely by accident because there's no way get your hand up in here to reduce the clip and just pull it out. So naturally you use a flathead screwdriver to try and ease it up. So we're going to try again and do this part gently and try to force the clip up while you're pulling on it. All right, let's try this side. There's two sides to it. And you try to get it up and then pull. Now, we got it. Both these clips are intact. On the other side, we broke one. So these are relatively brittle, so you have to just be careful. They don't tell you that on the other videos. So you pull that, that's one. Now over here, this one's different. Of course it is. Why would it be the same? There's here, and then underneath in the same location, you can't see it. You basically take your index finger under there and your thumb here and push up, I guess would be the best, while you're pushing down on the one below and up on this one. And then kind of, you see what happens? A good example of just trying to use enough force to get it past, but it breaks. Matter of fact, they both broke. Not good. So we're gonna have to come up with plan B on this. But anyway, you just basically unplug the rest of it. Okay, so disaster strikes while you're doing this, and the clips fell off the clamp. Now we're gonna have to replace this. So what I did was got a replacement for the blinker. It's S682 is the part number at O'Reilly. So when you're doing stuff like this, you got to make sure the lines match up. So we will do one at a time to make sure we have this in the correct orientation. I've already test fit this to the bulb that what it hooks into, and it definitely works. So we're also going to use, to make the connections so you don't have to solder or anything, these Wago connectors. Here's the box. And it's these guys. I got them on eBay, and they have all kinds of little ones in here. I don't think it was too expensive. But since we're doing a one-to-one, I just got these unions here. So to start, we're gonna clip one wire at a time and hook it up one wire at a time so you don't get confused over which wire goes where. And then once we're done with that, we'll be able to continue with the light installation. Now remember, we're not mechanics or anything, but we think we can do this much. Okay, before you start any electrical work, we disconnected our battery. One of the cables is fine, you don't have to do both. Just pull one off and don't let it touch anything else. So I'm gonna go in here and start some surgery and try to get us straightened away. All right. So I'm only doing one at a time so we don't get messed up. And I'm gonna have to cut this back a little so we can, this is just insulation. So it gives us a little bit more wire to work with. It's funny how that changed. Oh, there it is. All right. Just be careful not to nick the wires. So we're trying to make the wire long, have more of it accessible, because we're going to strip back the insulation. So we don't need too much, but we need a bit more than that. Because how this works is, these are pretty easy to work with. We're going to strip off the insulation there. We've already done it on our new one. And you just lift both these orange parts and the wire gets inserted. Can you see that? The wire gets inserted like so. But you got to strip it first. You can't just put it in there with insulation on. So I think we've got enough to work with here. You can pull on it a little too, not too much, because all things are, you know. All right, so try to isolate that. This is basically 18 gauge, I think. Oh boy, it's hard to read this thing. So I think that's it. So get as much as you can. Oh boy, having trouble. That's about all the room we got, so 18. Because you don't want to do lower, you'll cut it right in two. That was not right. Or I've got a crappy tool. There we go. So what you do is you hold it tight, kind of move it back and forth, and then pull. You know, keep it clamped and pull it. All right, so we've got that piece, and we're gonna put it, there's a hole in there. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble. I know, I'm having trouble with the light a bit. And there's let me see. You'll know if it's long enough because when you do this, tug on it. It's got it, right? So now we take the new one, and that was the green one on the right, using this just to make sure, just in case your wires aren't colored like ours are, just put it in the right orientation and each one lines up. So this one I've already cut off, so we're gonna put that in here. And bingo. So that one's connected. Now we're gonna have to make ourselves a little bit more room and do the next two. Just trying to get through this. It's, you know, it's funny, the clip is so brittle it just popped off with my fingers. This seems like it's made of cast iron, but it's also plastic, which is really weird. I guess some plastics decay more quickly than others. All right, come on, you. Well, you get the idea. Try to make yourself some room so you're not doing what I'm doing right now, which is struggling with no room. You know, folks, as you get older, some of you might already know this, you know, things don't work the way you'd like them to. That's the wrong way. And what you're trying not to do is clip the wires right now. That comes later. Just trying to work the plastic back. And we're still not there. So I tell you what, I'll work on this and I'll bring you back to when you see the connection. Okay, so that's the wrong way. Stop. Okay, so we got the brown strip back, which is our next one. And we just add it and boom. So we've stripped back some of this connector. Just be careful. You can use wire cutters. There's two insulators. There's this plastic bundler and the actual, there's like electrical tape basically. So we got that. We got that one. And then now we're gonna do, oops, don't do that. Cut it as close to the connector as you can get because you need all the wire you can get, basically. So. I love these lights, except they're always in my eyes. Never fails. All right, so we're gonna, did that get, no, it's all right. All right, so we're on our last one here. Heading for the goal line. Oh, and it doesn't matter which end you use when you're doing this. Just make, the one thing we do have to make sure, and if you notice, there's a little of the electrical sticking out. Now we're gonna have to shorten this a little because you don't want any of the copper, I think I got it, poking out of this because it can short out. There we go. And then clamp one side. Always give it a tug. Make sure she's on there. And then I'm going to do this side. My wife is our videographer today. I might tag in. They could let her put the light in. Treat. Anyway. Okay, so there's all three of our wires. We made sure what color they were, where they were in this thing, basically, and that's ready to be used. You can just tuck this back in there. There's a hole for it. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. There's a little square hole for it. Oh, sorry. And so we can get back to the business of putting the light in. Okay, so once you take the whole light assembly out, a couple things that they don't really tell you on the other videos. We were like, well, what do we do now? Where's the bulb? Where's all that? So you actually have to take this part out because you're going to reuse it. Same with what was here, which we have somewhere. I forget where it is. We'll find it. So the first thing you do is you turn this thing to the left, Lucy, and it should, of course, always an issue with doing things with one hand. And then you'll feel it kind of give, and then you'll notice, you're just right in the camera with it. Anyway, you'll notice it's got 3 tabs, and those, move that back, sweetie. Those tabs are right here. So you need to line that up in between them, because we're going to put this in the new one, and get it to where it stays in, and then you turn it and lock it into place. And that keeps your bulb from coming out. Now this, as I recall, I struggled with the last one. You want to take this? I don't need the light. All right, so this, once you get the collar, I guess it's called. By the way, nobody else told you this in those videos you've watched, I'm sure. They just say, quote, take it out. And it's like, okay. So this should actually turn. Oh, you know what? I did this last time. It doesn't turn. It just pulls out, I thought. There we go. So don't turn it. Just pull once you get the collar off. Okay, so on the new light, you pull these little they're little protectors to keep things from going down into the holes. You just pull them off. Of course, sticky tape, whatever. So we're gonna put this one back in, and you just push on it. Again, this has little keyed divots down here in the light. So, that's funny, they're too close together. So you gotta kind of find there. And it should be flush. You can't see. Flush with it. Okay, so that one's ready to go. Now we got our turn blinker, our blinker thingy. So this one's a little bit easier. It goes in, once it's down, just turn it to the left. Always give them a little tug. This one will come out if you tug too hard because the collar's not on yet. This was it? Which one did we take off? That was this one. And then this goes in. Let's see if you can put it inside there. I don't know if you can. Okay, we need to oh wait, am I doing that wrong? No. I see. See on here, there's these three things. 1, 2, 3. So we have to kind of line those up with these tabs. Okay, they're down here, the silver one. So just get it to settle, and then righty tighty. Just tight. You're not going to hear a click or anything. At least I didn't. Just make sure it's tight, and then therefore your bulb's in there good. Okay? Okay, so on these lights, there's these rubber hosey things. They point down when the light goes in. And I think, I'm not even sure what they are, but I think they're for ventilation of the whole light chamber, because I imagine it could get warm in there. So we need to, as you see, when we go to put this in, it goes in this way, okay, which angles those down. Okay. Anyway, when you go in with this way, these rubber thingies point down. So, I'm gonna come back up. So now we have this protective cover on the light. I suggest you do not take it all off. Just peel it back so it doesn't get caught under where we're going to put the light. So I'm just peeling this back. And put your hand on that part so you don't mess it up. So we're going to let it rest right here for a second. And all right, the boss of the whole operation is going to go ahead and show you putting it in. So,
it up.
Come up. There you go.
It's not that easy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then straight in until it clicks. There it goes. See, you got a nice, good thing. Now give it a little tug on the black part. Make sure. Okay, always give a little tug. You never know. All right, so now that's that one. Now we're going to do the headlight. It's keyed. It only goes in one way. So now on this one, we didn't have to replace the clip or the connector, so we'll be real careful putting it in. And there you go. You get a little click out of it. So now we're almost home. So again, you peel back the plastic a little. You can take it off, but you're gonna end up, you could scratch it while you're maneuvering it. I would not until the end, but you do have to peel it back so it doesn't get caught underneath. So, you ready?
Where did these holes?
Notice the two pins, the copper colored pins. There are two black holes for them in the fender. That's where that goes. And then meanwhile, okay, sorry about that. Let me get back.
Let's see where the pins are.
They're
Oh, they're in front of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once you can kind of feel them go into the holes a little bit, and then you push forward. No, so you're not in.
No. I don't have any light down there. Let's see them. Okay, that's bright.
You see where it goes?
No,
There's a little black.
it's a black of this area in there.
There we go. That looks like it went.
Thing. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna play with this a bit and make sure we're in. Okay, we got the light. You can kind of tell it's got a good fit. It's not rattling a lot, okay? That is in place. Now it's not hooked, it's not finished yet. We have to take the two metal tabs, which are these, and put them
Wrong one. That one goes over there.
in these little black slots, which you can't see. See, it's barely sticking out. Now this is the trouble we had on the other one. I think it's because 22 years of settlement in the car or just it's not OEM. So we're gonna have to work on this, but let's try to get, if you notice this one over here, there's two. We're gonna try to get in that one. We'll see, hold on. Okay, so the tab points forward and then you can see where it goes in back there. It's a little hard. Let me see, that's actually a pretty good shot of it. So it goes in that one. Now there are two. There's one up high and one down low. So you gotta keep pushing this down until you get to the bottom one. All the while she's pushing on this, there it goes. Now, this light really not gonna go anywhere. Now there's two of these. There's one over here. I will share with you, this was not as easy as you see on the other videos because, let me see if I can get a shot of that. Come on this way a little. Yeah, your fingers are right in the way. Now there they are. Now notice they're not sitting out all that far. So what we had to do on the other side, when you have this problem, because you're gonna go to put this in, I'll show you, and it's gonna fight you just getting in the darn thing. So what we're gonna do, she's gonna pull on the yellow part towards the front of the car while sort of pushing on the light with her palm, pushing it forward, and we're gonna try to get it in. It might take you a little, this took us a while on the other one because it's just not quite lined up, and neither, you know, I don't have a reason why that is. I think it's just the age or the product itself. So let us get this to go. It takes a little strength. Come on, you can do it. We're in our late 60s. You can do it. Okay. To help with the fact that this yellow thing has to be moved forward a bit, it is not really pliable, but it does have some movement. My wife put the blunt the handle of the screwdriver to sort of force the yellow part backwards. And then you can slip this straight in. Now, it's still stuck on the top one, so we're going to try again. See if you can catch the magic. Oh, there it goes. Boom. So, wedge, push this forward to get that black, excuse me, the black piece to pop out more so you can put the clamp in. Once you get the clamp in, this thing's in. So now we give a tug. Always give a tug. Not that, the light. There we go. Yeah, so it's not going anywhere. And all that's left to do, we got to plug our battery back in. Remember, we had to clip the connector. If you don't have to clip a connector and your connectors are fine, I don't think you have to remove the battery cable. So that people might disagree. You can always, better safe than sorry, remove it. So, okay, I'm going to start at the beginning. Before you even get started doing your headlamps, they look real nice, by the way, is point this thing at a wall and just turn your lights on with your old lights still in place. And it'll shine on the wall in front of you. Place blue tape at the highest mark of the light hitting the wall. So when you put the new ones in and we turn them on, they should be below that line. If not, we're going to have to adjust them. And that'll be more video. But right now, I think we got to get the keys. Hold on a second. So here's our new lights. The one on the left needs to come up just a little because originally the little ridge was right above there. That one on the right needs to come up a bit. So we're going to adjust these, or at least try to. And we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, we kind of left you hanging there at the end here. You have to adjust the headlights sometime. There's other videos on how to adjust headlamps. I think our way of doing it before you make the change, mark the top, because if your headlights were okay before, they would be in the same place after. So do that, and then to adjust them, you can watch another video where you have to turn, there's a little thing on top. You turn it to the right, it'll go up, and left, it'll go down. And then get them back into where you think they need to be. Sorry about that, we didn't show the rest of it. And then you're done. So enjoy your new headlamps. We love ours. They look pretty good. And keep on doing those DIYs.